So, Daragh, are you ready for another show?
It's been a long week, but yeah, I think so, Dave. I think I'm ready.
And once you're full of energy and once you're ready to go, then we can get cracking. What's that?
Nothing.
Are you drinking Monster again?
No.
What happened to your Petit Falou drink? Oh, for God's sake.
I need it, Dave. I need a Monster.
The face that runs the place.
Long live living.
Goodbye and good night.
Coming to you from 90.3 Near FM, the EMC Podcast Network, and all good podcasting providers. Welcome to another edition of the Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guide, with me, Dave Cullen, and the Crackle Barrel maker, Daragh Maher. Daragh, how are you this afternoon?
And the Crackle Barrel maker makes all the Crackle Barrels and the barrels. But being serious for a second.
Say that 5 times.
No.
Crackle Barrel maker,
I
Crackle
could
Barrel
barely
maker,
say it
Crackle
once.
Barrel maker, Crackle Barrel maker, Crackle Barrel maker. Yes.
I'm a little upset, Dave.
Why? What's going on?
Well, you see, it's weird. It's awkward, difficult, hard to sum up.
All right.
I'm happy, quite happy in one sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that happiness involves being a little sad too.
Okay.
See, I'm very happy because actually just on Thursday, but this Sunday is the main day I feel that starts. Is the NFL's back.
Right. Of course.
The NFL is back. My Seattle Seahawks are going for their return to the top, which I don't think is going to happen, but we'll see what
When
happens.
was the last time they were in the Super Bowl? 2 years ago?
No, longer than that.
Was it 2? Was it
Longer
really?
than that,
It
yeah.
felt-
It's been a while.
Didn't feel that long to me. See, I don't watch NFL
about
as often.
Is it 5 years nearly at this stage?
Really?
I think it's about 5 years.
And is what's his name still the quarterback?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he still...
He's still fantastic.
Okay.
He's the only reason why Seattle got as many wins as they did last year.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So
Um,
it's him or nothing, pretty much.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they're going to do terribly this year, but I think they may surprise a few. But
All right.
the reason why I'm a little upset because the NFL is back, even
Right.
though I love the fact the NFL is back. Sunday evenings are set now until January.
Yeah.
This is the time of year that WWE just phone it in.
Well, on certain days.
Well, mostly because they're going to get killed in the ratings on Tuesdays or Mondays because Monday Night Football. So Raw is. I warn anyone who's not an NFL fan and who doesn't know why the WWE is shite around this time of year. It's because of the NFL.
Well, here's the thing about that. Like, is there certain times when it's on till the NFL? Like, is it?
It's on like the NFL.
Does it-
Monday Night Football is on the same time as Raw.
And it takes over the whole 3 hours,
Yeah.
or is it on the round?
An NFL game takes about 3 hours.
Okay, so see, if there was a certain time when it'd be over or not over, then they could prioritize the hours of stuff to do.
No, not really.
Yeah, well, in this case, here's the thing. Like, I understand how it could be a sad thing, but look at it this way. At least it's not interfering with all of WWE's product, especially all the products they have at the moment or will be bringing out now, especially
Yeah.
with the Mae Young Classic just starting this week, the Mixed Match Challenge coming out soon. It'll be fine. And and it affects Raw, which hasn't been the greatest watching lately. It doesn't interfere with SmackDown, which is much better watching lately, and 205 and NXT. So I'm okay with Raw being the back of the bus for that. I really don't mind that. I don't know about yourself. See the positives in that, at least.
But see, Raw's meant to be the flagship.
One of the flagships. Let's be honest.
It's the flagship show. Raw is the flagship show for WWE. It is.
Well,
it is. Come on.
Let's
call a spade a spade. It is.
It's not going to be for that much longer either.
It's people keep saying it all the time.
No, it's because they're
There's
going to have
no-
SmackDown on Fox as well.
There's no way that WWE will allow Raw to go so far down the pecking order, so other shows will be sacrificed.
It is what it is. No, but it's not going to have it like that anyway. Like, but the point is that like if they want to improve the Raw or make it more watchable, make it better. Don't let it be in the back of the bus because of a difference.
But they know
parts
they're not.
altogether.
But see, the thing is with the NFL, it's such such a staple in people's houses now that there's nothing that they can
In the
do
United States.
in the United States. Yeah, but that's where they calculate their viewership from. They don't take Sky Sports ones.
I know, but it's not their only audience as well.
I know it's not their only audience, but it's the one that they give to the shareholders in terms of their ratings per week.
Yeah. End of the day, like, you know, if you want people to watch in America, make it watchable, and they have elements.
But
to
the
make
thing
it
is, people
watchable.
are set in
the
their
entire
ways
show.
over with the NFL that they're not going to change over.
And that's fine. But it's not gonna work with me anyway because I don't watch NFL. You do, but I don't. So
Well, I don't. I can't watch Raw and when live anymore anyway. So
would you stay up for an NFL game if you could? If that's not the Super Bowl as well, or a playoff game, or a regular
if my
season
team
game.
was involved, yes.
All right. So
If Seattle were involved, yes.
even if it was like first and second in a certain league or something.
See, there's so many different leagues. I look. This is not the show for me to
All
get
right.
into it with you. I'll teach you about it one day, but
All right.
it's not like the Premier League where they're all in one league.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're coming to you from Near FM Studios in the beautiful North Dublin village of Coolock. We'll be here giving you all the latest news, results, previews, rumours, and more from the world of professional wrestling. We'll be giving you all the latest action from the past week from WWE, previewing events from the likes of OTT, Low Blows, PWU, NLW, and Phoenix Wrestling. And we'll also be addressing our yes/nos very shortly. All to come, but first we're going to start, as always, with the news.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Also, good news, everyone.
We're going to start with a bit of sad news concerning Travis Banks, who, unfortunately, it was announced by Pro Wrestling Guerrilla last week that Travis Banks will not be able to wrestle for their Battle of Los Angeles tournaments due to an injury. He'll be replaced by Sammy Guerrera, and two of the first round matchups have been shuffled as a result. So Banks was supposed to originally face Shingo Takagi in the first round, but Takagi will now take on Ilya Dragunov, while Jonah Rock, who was originally matched up with Dragunov, will now wrestle Guerrera in the opening rounds. Banks suffered a dislocated shoulder back in July, and Banks provided an update on the injury last week, noting that he initially thought that he'd be cleared to wrestle sooner rather than later, but it hasn't been the case, and he still doesn't have a return date to give everyone. The Ebola 2018 event is taking place at the Globe Theatre in Los Angeles from September 14th to 16th. Banks is the second person to drop out of the tournament, with Matt Riddle having been replaced by Trevor Lee last month due to Riddle's signing with WWE. So it's a bit unfortunate, but the show must go on, as they say.
Exactly. It sucks that Travis can't take part in it. Obviously, he has been out for a while with a shoulder injury. Hopefully,
Do you think
he
that's
can get back to doing.
Do you think his shoulder injury is one of the reasons why he had a heel turn, like in Progress?
No.
It would have made sense in a way because he was trying to avoid certain things against Walter. No, okay, fair enough.
No, that was just a storyline.
Oh,
I think that
okay.
was just purely storyline. It wasn't to do with an injury. I think he got it when he was in America.
Oh, did he?
I think it was part of the American tour that Progress were on.
Oh, I see
I
what you
think
mean.
That's
yeah.
when he sustained the injury.
That wasn't-
No,
that was
it
last month.
before
What are
that.
you talking about? Yeah.
It was before that. Sorry, it was at a. I can't remember what show it was at.
It wasn't PWG or anything like that.
No, it was. It must have been in England then,
Maybe.
somewhere. But I remember because WWE were very unhappy with it too, because it was like a week before or 2 weeks before their first batch of UK tapings, and he wasn't on it obviously.
I'm curious to check out this year's tournament for Ebola anyway, because like
Bola,
I said Bola.
you said Ebola again.
Bola. Battle of Los Angeles.
I think it's better you just say Battle of Los Angeles.
Bola. No, I want to get the habit of Bola. Well, I'm curious to check it.
Okay, but just don't say it's a deadly disease.
I never called it. I never suggested it was a deadly disease. You're the one who's correcting me, thinking that it is. As I was saying, Bola.
God, it's worse than us trying to lip sync to Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know about that. That's happening next week, so I'm very curious to see what it's like, because like it seems like a lot of wrestlers we've never heard of, they're going to be in this year's tournament, like, so it's because there's a lot of commitments from all the people who are usually there before, have elsewhere, like WWE or Japan or whatever, like, so be curious to see
Well,
what
they
happens
always threw I should say, a few random names in there anyway for their tournament.
here. Yeah,
Just a little more maybe this year.
Yeah.
Just like you said, through injuries and contracts.
that's it, yeah. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we'll move on. Some news concerning Matt Riddle and Progress this week.
Yes, after Matt Riddle appeared at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn last month, Progress, I should say, announced that Riddle's final indie match will be taking place at their show at the SSE Arena, Wembley, in England on September the 30th. On Tuesday, Progress confirmed that Riddle will be facing Mark Haskins at the event. Riddle was shown sitting in front at TakeOver Brooklyn and was announced as the latest wrestler to sign with WWE. He, of course, is yet to make his NXT debut. The Wembley Arena show is the biggest event in Progress history. The main event for it was confirmed last week, with Tyler Bate defeating Haskins and becoming the next challenger for Walter's Progress Championship. Jimmy Havoc could also have challenged for the title, but lost a 2 out of 3 falls, no DQ match to Will Ospreay. Paul Robinson costing Havoc the match. I should say Paul Robinson costing Havoc the match has now set up a match between Havoc and Robinson in a no DQ match at Wembley Arena.
Some card to this for Progress, isn't
Yeah.
it? So the only thing I don't like about
It's their WrestleMania.
It literally is. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's clashing with OTT show, which we've talked about off there.
Yeah,
It's clashing with the Fan Appreciation Night the same night, which I
Yeah.
got my ticket for today.
good for you.
Yep. But listen, you can't deny how awesome of a show this is as well at the same time. Like, I'll be honest with you, there's part of me that wanted Jimmy Havoc to be in that main event against Walter. Because he is still their longest reigning champion, and it would have been nice to see him being champ again personally.
Yeah,
But I'm not complaining that Tyler Bates challenging Walter instead. That's a class match.
it will be a good match.
When you think about it,
And then don't forget, I think that's the match that night is also Pete Dunne against
oh my goodness,
who's he against?
Ella Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov.
That
yeah.
is probably the most anticipated match in Europe, ever in Europe. That's like Big Daddy versus Giant Haystacks.
Also, I think
sort of thing for
Mark
me.
Haskins is going up against Eddie Dennis as well.
Mark Haskins was
No,
downstairs.
Mark Andrews, sorry.
Yeah, that has a lot of history. That's been hyped for months. So that's been interesting as well. So I can't think of a more interesting match though than this for Matt Riddle to face to finish his indie career off. Because think about it, Haskins. Like, here's a guy who's really aggressive. Like, it's a really interesting clash of styles. The aggressive Haskins against maybe the laid back, but but the tough Riddle, if you like. So
Yeah.
So he smiles the whole time. He probably laughed the whole time of him being in his face, if you like. So
I
can
doubt
suck
it.
it.
I doubt it.
He's that type of guy.
Yeah, I doubt
No? No, I mean, this is Riddle laughing at Haskins.
it. Yeah, no, I doubt it.
What do you mean?
I think once Riddle gets in the ring, he's going to be all business.
Maybe. Yeah, once you realise it's then it'll be pure takedown mode and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Move on in the meantime. WWE announced a new season of the Mixed Match Challenge on their website on Tuesday afternoon. It will once again be streamed on Facebook Live Watch on the United States, and for the first time will also stream live in Germany, Mexico, Australia, France, Indonesia, the Philippines, Spain, Thailand and Vietnam. In addition, the Mixed Match Challenge pre-show will air 10 minutes before the show starts. The difference this year, instead of a single elimination tournament like last season, this time the tournament will be competed under a round-robin rules. Each episode will be 30 minutes long, featuring 2 matches. There will be 14 episodes in the season, with the finals culminating at WWE's TLC pay-per-view in December 16th. Here's the 10 teams that will be competing for Raw. I'm delighted Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss will be reunited.
Team Little Big.
Bobby Lashley and Sasha Banks.
Interesting.
Team.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and Bayley, which I personally thought should have teamed up in the last one, but I was okay
Yeah.
with, yeah.
Hopefully they do some more really good like promo videos like they did last year.
Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox,
That's a weird one.
and Kevin Owens and
But
Natalia.
I like the matchup there
Yeah,
with like he's trying to be like the calming
and she's a
guy
and she screams her head off.
crazy. Yeah. Kevin Owens and Natalia. That's an odd one too.
fellow Canadians.
Yeah.
Only a patriotism would they be together. I
Canadian Destroyers.
suppose. Yes,
Yes.
Canadian sharpshooters.
Ooh.
For SmackDown, another more or less the same teams there as well. For some, The Miz and Asuka, who were they finalists last year or
They won
semi-finalists? Oh, they won it, of course, yeah. So they have to be in it. Jimmy Uso and Naomi, no surprise there. Landon Rusev, no surprise there. AJ Styles and Charlotte.
Yeah. Charlotte coming back, but this time she has AJ Styles with her instead of Bobby Roode.
No Bobby Roode at all in this tournament. Yeah. R-Truth and Carmella, I'm very curious about those two now. So, because
Yeah.
the way they've been going on SmackDown.
The way they've
lately.
been going on SmackDown, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and R-Truth and Carmella, as you mentioned, the second season will premiere on Tuesday 18th following SmackDown. So it should be interesting. So again, we talked about at the start about how it's more wrestling that will probably make that will probably be there, more product, despite that whole thing with NFL. But
Well, like
it's
Tuesdays,
there.
it's okay.
Yeah, but Mondays it's one thing. Combination of wrestling. So, of those 10 teams, what do you think? Do you want Strowman? I'd love to see Strowman and Alexa win it the back of last year because they were by far the most entertaining.
Wouldn't surprise me, but probably someone like AJ Styles and Charlotte.
You'd think that, yeah.
I don't know how to round, like, is the groups going to be the Raw group all against each other, or the SmackDown group against each other, or will they make a mixture of both? I prefer a mixture of both.
The impression I'm getting is that they'll have a league of matches and like round robin.
Yeah, there'd be two different. I think there'd be two different groups.
Yeah.
Maybe two different groups of 5.
Yeah.
And then like everyone will face each other.
Yeah, so they'll have 2 matches, one Raw match, one SmackDown match, and then eventually the overall winner. It's like a G1 climax of tag teams, if you like.
Similar.
Yeah, and the overall winners of each of Raw and SmackDown will face each other for the thing then. So works that way, I suppose. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We'll finish off the news concerning some interesting news concerning a possible book concerning WWE.
Yes, an oral history of WWE is in the works from the authors of I Want My MTV, the uncensored story of music video revolution. Day Street Books, which is part of the HarperCollins publisher group, has announced that Craig Marks and Rob Telebom, I think it's Telebom.
Yeah.
Telebom. We'll say Telebom. Go Telebom.
No, well, not Telebom.
Okay. We'll be writing a tell-all book about the history of WWE. The press release for the project noted that Marks and Telebom. Well, it's a man's name. Why is it so funny? We'll have unprecedented access to Vince McMahon.
Right.
A release date for the book hasn't been announced, but Mark says that they'll be hopefully done with it within 2 years. Current members of the WWE roster, legends, writers, producers, managers, business executives, WWE-related celebrities, and others who have worked with or against McMahon over the years will be interviewed for it. This is an unapologetic look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the journey that made WWE the great global phenomenon it is today, McMahon said in a press release.
It's really interesting what could be on that book now. So it's probably... See, the thing is, it's like, as far as I'm concerned, it's more like how they work everything. It's basically, this is how wrestling works. So, remember we had that news of, I think a year ago or something like that, where I had that notes that was found backstage when it said what the can and can't do's of wrestlers and stuff like that. So I imagine there'll be a lot of stuff like that, like, so
probably would be. Well, that's, I don't know how much the access they will get, but hopefully it'll be good. Speaking of McMahon's putting out press releases, did you see the press release that was done by Linda McMahon?
I didn't.
Just the other day. Do you follow American politics at all?
Not really.
You are aware who the president is.
Well, other than beyond that, if it's on, like, I'm not really one to watch the news too often, so by that process, no.
Okay. Well, just a
follow
quick
up the Guardian or anything like that.
A quick catch up. Donald Trump, of course, is president of the United States, as anybody would know, and if you don't, you're obviously living
under a rock.
Under a rock, exactly. Which, by the way, if we are your only source of information, thank you. But
how sad must your life be if we of all people are your source of information on American politics? Wrestling I can understand, but American politics?
Yeah, I know, right? But
get going anyway.
He's had a very tumultuous time as president at the moment for obvious reasons. That I won't get into. But the New York Times just this week released an article from a confidential senior source inside the White House talking about how they are vehemently trying to undermine everything that the president is doing because they don't agree with his rhetoric. So no one knows who the senior source is. Senior executive, sorry, that was the title. Senior executive in the White House.
So it's a whistleblower, if you like.
Similar, yes.
All right.
Yes. Very high up whistleblower as well.
All
you know, in his
House.
cabinet, you could say, you know.
A rebel in the White House.
And Trump has obviously done this Trump thing where he says like, oh, he's treason, the fake, this is fake news and stuff like that. Do you have that thing?
You know, nothing's happening at the White House. And stuff like
What
that.
the hell was that?
It was probably what he was thinking at the time.
No. What was that accent?
It was Donald Trump.
No, it wasn't.
He speaks like this sometimes.
He really doesn't.
He does sometimes.
He doesn't.
He's like an evil villain when he speaks like that.
You weren't like an evil villain, though.
Yeah, but Donald Trump is.
Yeah, I know, but
No, but but he has that type of voice where he's like an evil villain, where he's like, "You're not going to get away with this, Trump." I think I will. I don't know.
You sound like someone from like Dalkey or Bald's Bridge. You don't sound like Donald Trump.
No, I'll be honest with you.
You sound like a D4 head.
No, I don't sound that posh.
You do.
He's a well-off man, so I guess
No,
that's not worse.
that's what you sound like, not what Donald Trump sounds like.
Enough of that.
But anyway, Linda McMahon has had to come out this week and actually release a statement to vehemently deny that she is the leak.
Okay.
This is some WWE style storyline stuff right
is she
here.
saying that deliberately to get over?
It's like, I didn't do it. She's trying to get over. She's trying to make a move, is she?
It's like, I did it.
You know who it's going to be? It's going to be Rikishi.
I did it.
I did it
for The Rock.
I did it for the McMahon.
No. I did it for The Rock. And actually makes sense because
The Rock's gone for 2020.
For once in your life, it actually comes full circle.
I knew they were playing the long game with this Linda McMahon and the White House thing.
Yeah, but we didn't think they'd be this long game, though, did we? So let's be honest here. So let's hope for. There you go. If you want a reason to follow American politics, that's it right there. In the meantime, we'll move on now with our previews of the week.
Why, look at what we have here, folks!
Now, we mentioned at the start of, for the last couple of weeks, that we were trying to make it down for Phoenix Wrestling. Obviously, we can't make it down, but it is still on tonight. Obviously, Phoenix Wrestling. I see you played Spoonie before. Happening...
Knifey Spoonie before.
Knifey Spoonie before. It's not down there, sorry. Anyway, this
what
Saturday,
happened to your
September 8th.
childhood that you didn't watch that much...
Where's that
that
from?
much Simpsons?
Knifey Spoonie.
Yeah, how do you not know all these Simpsons quotes? Like, come on.
Just that one. I just don't know. Anyway,
I
happening...
hope it's just that one. I really do.
How long ago was that episode? Just out of interest.
Doesn't matter how long ago it
Happening at September 8th, tonight at Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick. Tickets are still available on eventbrite.ie. Matches announced, a lot of matches were announced in the past week, actually. You have LJ Cleary against Steve Savage, 1-on-1. The Armstrongs against the Angel Cruisers. Did you see the promo for that, by the way?
Yeah.
The Angel Cruisers, that's brilliant.
I loved Angel's tweet, though.
What?
Be Cool is driving us down there, so if we don't make it, it's obviously because we're lost.
Ricky Graham will be taking on Bruiser 1-on-1. Club Chopper Kenna against the Wards, so that's a match.
That's going to be a great
I'm looking
match.
forward to seeing that now when it comes out. Billy Bedlam and Raven Creed reunites to take on the Fabulous Nikki and Session Martina. The event will be hosted by Dwayne Dugan, who is a comedian. Like he was involved with the graphics of Phoenix Wrestling, from my understanding as well, and he's been on comedy shows for RTE and the Vodafone Comedy House Festival and the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and stuff like that. So
they're in good hands while
J Money's recovering.
While J Money is recovering. Yeah. Buying his gold tooth,
if you like.
Yeah.
There's also a performance from Come in Pieces, the bands from Limerick, on that night, so a lot to check out for there. Happening on Sunday, September 16th at the Europa Hotel in Belfast, OTT live in Belfast. Tickets are still available on eventbrite.ie. Matches announced include Pete Dunne to take on Damien Corvin, the Kings of the North to take on Aussie Open, Jordan Devlin to take on Fred Yeha, Sean Guinness to take on the Great O'Kong, and a fatal four-way, for the OTT gender-neutral title. LJ Cleary will defend the title against Ricky Shane, Session Matt Martina, and Martin Kirby. A match was just announced this week. The Mongrels will take on Curtis Murray, Tucker, and Adam Mexted in a six-man tag. So that's going to be an interesting match as well. So all Northern Irish talents for that one as well. Yeah. So should be interesting. Now, happening Monday, September 17th, Slow Blows will be back for their No Spoiler Mondays, this time for Hell in a Cell. They'll be happening at Buskers in the Ball in Temple Bar. Tickets are available on eventbrite.ie, free for Low Blows Network subscribers. There'll be pre-show entertainment, including a retro gaming tournament for SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. Remember that game?
Love that game.
Yeah, it was class. No Temple Bar prices as well. The event starts at 6 p.m. PWU have a lot of events coming up in a couple of weeks' time. First, they'll be having their Culture Night 2018 at Belfast City Hall on Friday 21st. They'll also be having their Junction 12 Celtic Cup 2018 happening on Sunday 23rd of September at the S13 Belfast. This is Northern Ireland's first ever all-female show where there'll be 8 women competing in a one-night tournament to be the Celtic Cup champion, and they also have the PWU title on the line. Tickets are available at tickettailor.com. So far you have Lauren LaRue, Rhea O'Reilly, Katie Taylor, Debbie Cattell, the new PW Women's Champion Valkyrie, Raven Creed, Melanie Gray from WXW, Aishi Raymond, if I pronounced that correctly, that was in WWE Mayo Classic last year.
Aisha Raymond,
thank you. And Isla Dawn and Killer Kelly, also in the Mayo Classic this year. Like, I think both of them are in WWE NXT UK actually, but Killer Kelly, like, we'll talk about her match in particular, the Mayo Classic. She's really good actually. So. Also, NLW First Impact will also be happening on Sunday, September 23rd at the Moat Theatre, Abbey Street, Naas, Kildare. Tickets available at moattheatre.com. A lot of really good matches announced so far. You have Alexander Dean, Nathan Martin, Sean Guinness, Justy, and a mystery opponent in a 5-way dance for a new championship they're having. They're calling it a new world championship in NLW. A tag team match between Be Cool and Danny Butler to take on Callum Black and Gunter Isaac. Rebecca Reisner and the Fabulous Nikki will take on LJ Cleary and Amy Alonzi. Sir Paul Tracy will take on Scotty Davis. The Kings of the North are also announced for that show as well. So, as we mentioned, we're going to be having Jamie Coleman on our show next week to talk more about that. So it should be interesting to see his perspective on that, isn't it?
Can't wait.
Yeah, it should be interesting. In the meantime, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we will talk about all the latest stuff from WWE, as well as address our yes-nos for the week. We're after this short break.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Oh my God! So close! He kicked out! He kicked out! He kicked out!
Tune in to The Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guides, right here on 90.3 Near FM. Covering all the latest news, results, previews, rumours and more from the world of professional wrestling, as well as covering the wrestling scene right here in Ireland. Join us every Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. right here on 90.3 Near FM.
In the future, roving bands of comic book podcasts will savage the wasteland, once known as the Internet. One podcast, the Grolix Podcast, may not be the biggest, may not be the funniest, may not be the most well-spoken. Wait, what was my point again? Oh yes, the Grolix Podcast. Listen to it at grolixpodcast.com. That's GRAWLIX podcast.com.
We're back here on The Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guides. Now let's continue on our show now with our look back at this week's WWE. We'll start with Raw. I mean, like, Raw is like it always has been for the last few weeks. It has its moments, but like half of it is good and half is filler. But that's something I'm almost used to with Raw at this stage. Like,
Raw is spending a lot of time trying to hype up two different shows.
What do you mean?
It's trying to hype up Hell in a Cell. It's hyping up three different shows actually. It's hyping up Hell in a Cell. It's hyping up Evolution and
Super Showdown.
Yeah,
but nothing wrong with that. So give the devil its due for trying to promote three different shows.
Yeah.
So, but like overall, it was grand. Like, I thought it was a really good show. That opening segments where Brock, Dolph, and Drew, who are now teaming up together, and that's a very solid stable now.
I don't see them as a stable. I think they're just working together to go against the Shield.
Yeah, but the case, like,
I wouldn't see, like, once this Shield thing finishes with them, I wouldn't imagine them sticking together.
Well, Braun said his reasons that they're there anyway. That he believes it's justice because he tried to do the monster to man thing face to face, and he believes that Roman is hiding behind Rollins and Ambrose.
Yeah.
And therefore, he evens the odds in this case, taking a different path. Doesn't care if anyone doesn't like it. He has his own crew, and he'll prove it's his yards. And it's intelligence.
Yeah.
It's brains from a Braun. To put it smartly, but so it works for me. And all of them did solid promos. Like, that's the thing. They could be like Shield 2.0 when you think about it.
Yeah.
Even because they can all talk, they can all wrestle, they can all do all that stuff. Like, it's like,
yeah,
it's like they're the canon against the Shield, if you like. But Drew said that it's the Shield's time is done. They're the new kings of the jungle. They'll feed on them. Whereas Dolph said they'll be more dominant than any faction before. And then it caused a situation where the Shield were about to attack them until almost every single superstar on the roster tried to separate them and eventually got arrested. So I can't even understand why they got arrested, to be honest with you, but
No, I don't know why. Because they came through the crowd.
yeah, or something to do with was something to do what they did last week when they attacked some.
I don't know. I did like the visual of it. With the faces and the heels standing up to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did like that. I don't understand the.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't understand why they were arrested. But
Yeah, there you go. One thing I have to mention, this is really off topic, but it's a general WWE question. Why is Brie Bella on both Raw and SmackDown?
I don't know.
I can understand SmackDown because I'm enjoying that storyline. I am. What
Well,
about yourself?
yeah.
But why is she on Raw? Like, if she's ever, like, does she have to be
Well,
there?
yeah, like why? Like her and John Cena have this like free agent status. Nikki Bella doesn't even have the free agent status, so you can see which side Vince McMahon took in the breakup.
But Brie
John Cena keeps the free agency, but Nikki Bella is stuck on the one show.
No. I can just imagine that now. No, you have to make sure that Nikki isn't following me around. It's probably just to promote Total Divas, but it isn't necessary.
Yeah, I hate that time of year when it's starting early. Not when it's starting early, but like I hate the time of year when it's coming back and they're using their own wrestling show to promote it. I think they should keep it. I don't mind like ads in between it, but when you're being announced of the stars of Total Divas, which premieres on the something of something on the
cringeworthy.
E Network, like no,
It's awfully cringeworthy, isn't it?
it's hot. It's just awful. It's not
Yeah.
even awfully cringeworthy. It's just awful.
Bobby Roode and Chad Gable were a tag team. It's a very oddball team, isn't it?
Oh, it's clearly setting up for a Rude
To turn heel.
turn heel.
Well,
Clearly.
Well, you know what? I like that because it gives.
As long
Chad
as it gets Bobby Roode to what we've wanted since he came onto the main roster.
There's two benefits in that case. Bobby Roode turns heel, and Chad Gable gets a push.
Exactly.
And Chad Gable, he was brilliant, and he was by far he stood out so much in this match.
I was only thinking about like when I saw this match, Chad Gable, of course, obviously being in a former tag team
Yeah.
with a certain former person.
Yeah.
Where is that certain former person? He's been cleared for weeks now.
Who are you talking about?
Jason Jordan.
Oh yeah.
He's been cleared for ages.
Well, maybe they don't have a particular plan for him as such yet.
Yeah, because they messed up the last one so badly.
Maybe this could be something they could do with it. Like maybe it's could be something to do with this, where maybe they have a feud, Roode and Gable, and it could encourage Roode to find someone, and that could encourage Gable to find someone, and end up having a tag team rivalry, and then they go from there, I suppose. But that's the only way I could think of it being something like that, I suppose.
Possibly.
So it was originally supposed to be the Revival against the B team for the tag titles, but Dolph and McIntyre killed them backstage, literally killed them.
Yeah.
Ended up making it a tag team, but making themselves the challengers, basically creating their own opportunities, doing it the smart way, I feel like. And while I don't like the Revival being derailed, again especially, because they had such bad luck with injuries and they're sort of being pushed aside in this case, I still like the idea of them being tag champions so much.
I do too.
Big time.
I do too.
Because now it's like it drops the angle with the B team, which is only going to go so far, let's be honest. And having the angle now where with Drew, Dolph and Braun taking over the show now, and it works for me. Like I think it's an excellent bit of booking there now, personally. Yeah. Speaking of weird, that was excellent bit of booking, but that's weird booking Raw as well. I think the weirdest booking, which no one saw coming, is Drake Maverick managing the Authors of Pain. First of all, is
the one thing I love about this more than anything else is how Drake Maverick is like playing along with all the memes that are being created on Twitter of him.
That's why
he's just getting involved in them, and I think that's brilliant. I think my two favourite ones so far have been when you ask your mom, can you go out and play, but she tells you to bring your younger brother with you.
Especially when we see Drake Maverick raising both hands, and it's almost like he's holding the elbows. He's that shorter compared to the
then they did like a photo shoot afterwards, and then he did this himself. He goes like hashtag new Facebook cover photo where it's the two lads from Authors of Pain and just the top of Drake Maverick's head.
Yeah.
It's just his hair.
It's funny for me because it seems like because Drake Maverick is a bit shorter guy,
Yeah.
You could almost miss it. You saw the picture thinking, here's an advertisement for a Shield's Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, you know, 'cause it's a very similar attire. But so let's talk about the Shawn Michaels Undertaker segments, because that was excellent, I thought.
Yeah.
Now, you're 100% certain about it. You think it could be gone?
No, I loved it.
It was an excellent promo.
I absolutely love both guys in this. It was
That if it's not respect, or is it fear? Oh,
I don't know, just brilliant.
mwah. But
The only thing, see, this is how I hate. Not that I hate. This is what I don't want to stomp all over this. I'd love to just move on and say it was awesome, but
it was awesome, but it has a flaw.
I think it just has one flaw in the sense that this promo was obviously done to set up their Super Showdown match between Triple H, Shawn Michaels' best friend, and The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
But was this promo so good, and the direction that they took this promo, did they unintentionally put more hype on for a potential match between those two than they did for the match between Taker and Triple H?
Another match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. I don't think it was. If they did something like that, I sincerely doubt it was excellent. Sure, like, I think there's more to it than that, because this is a big stadium show. Like I like to think that WWE would try and do more of their central booking around these types of shows. They did to an extent with Greatest Royal Rumble. Maybe an extent, maybe not. It wasn't huge, but I imagine it's something they'll be dabbling in more often. And I think this show will be a big example of that. So I like to think that as a result of this, now it could add an extra element. What I find about it, it makes you want to watch the Undertaker Shawn Michaels match way much more, because I think the hype behind it was, oh well, it is what it is. Like, you know, let's see what happens, as opposed to huge anticipation compared to, let's say, Cody and Aldous. There was huge anticipation for that match because of all the hype before that. This didn't really have that because we've seen it so many times before, and it is what it is. But this being added to it as an extra spark to it. Now, whether it means it's a match with Taker and Shawn Michaels on the line, who knows?
Yeah, true.
I like to think it might, though.
I like to think it would too.
WWE are more clever than you think with their long-term booking at times. I think we give them enough credit for that.
I know. I'm just.
But I understand why you think it could be accidental all the same. Kevin Owens is back. Could be rivalry with Lashley though. I think we saw that coming now. So.
Oh, for God's sakes!
I'm interested. It's a new feud, but
no. Why would you say he quits? Like, why would you actually make him say the words "I quit" if you're going to bring him back in a week?
Yeah, it seems like they're putting no effort into it.
That's no effort. That's so lazy. and so bad for. Like, Kevin deserves so much better.
Don't blame Owens. He's putting his all into it anyway.
I know. Oh, of course he is.
He's angry as F at the whole situation.
But why?
Probably over that, but that's another story.
Why? Like, why would you have him say the words "I quit" to bring him back in a week? Why couldn't you just like
play it out?
Not even play it out. Like, if you wanted him to be pissed off and maybe threaten that he's going to quit, like, maybe I need to go home and reevaluate things.
Yeah. Maybe it took him a week to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It can take you a week to reevaluate things. It won't take you a week to unquit.
I don't know. It boggles my mind personally, anyway.
Especially after seeing All In that weekend, he would have been loving being not in WWE.
Yeah, Strowman took on Finn Balor. A really good match. The Braun Strowman and Finn Balor always have really good matches, I think. Like, it's a very good David and Goliath aspect to it. But in this case, like, Balor was trying to put the sleeper on, almost gone to a triangle. But
Balor was just used for the eventual spot afterwards.
Yeah, but I even though it's Balor, it makes sense in the storyline. I don't like it being Balor, obviously, not just as much as you. But but at the same time, who else could be there? Especially someone who tries his all against Balor, even if he is oversized or overpowered in the end. At least he showed vigor in trying to fight back, which I don't think many wrestlers would. So in that sense, it's probably why they put him in that spot, if that makes sense. It wasn't a squash by any means of the imagination, but it certainly tested Strowman, if you like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was still not enough to put him away. So in that sense, it made sense. But then, yeah, the Shield coming back before every superstar ends up attacking them again, and then God, there was really like that's when Rollins went through the van door, he cut his arm badly after that, didn't he?
Supposedly, yeah, I didn't see it now myself.
Didn't see any blood, but I heard it was pretty bad. Like after what we heard, so I didn't see it. It must have been his shoulder or.
They were completely destroyed.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens next week. Triple H and Mick Foley will be back next week, so maybe Triple H will address the Undertaker situation.
Can't wait to see
more.
Mick Foley. That's gonna be great.
Be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As for SmackDown this week, again, like it's a show you're more. It flows so much better, as we said before. There's more build to Miz and Maurice and Brie and Brian, which I'm really enjoying at the moment. Like, I don't know about yourself, but for me, I'm enjoying this aspect of it because, as I said before, it adds a chapter to the better things later on. At least I like to believe that anyway. So, and the fear that Miz generally has for Brian, even when he has the yes lock on Aldous at the end of that match, and he stops his tracks when he tries to run after him back in the ring. It works for me. Not for you though. I can tell by your face you're not that keen.
I'm just not the keen on this promo. That's all.
How'd you find?
Not promo, just this segment, just this part of the feud. I didn't think it needed to bring both into it.
How'd you find the interview with Becky and Charlotte?
I didn't see it. I'll be honest, I didn't see a lot of SmackDown this week.
Okay, well, I'll explain what happened. So, it felt heated. It was heated to the point where it had to be separated locations. So, sort of like John Jones, Daniel Cormier sort of thing, when they're separate rooms. Like
Brock and Joe.
Yeah, but WWE ways, Brock and Joe, yeah. Where Charlotte says she won the title, but by winning the title, she lost her best friend. She took the opportunity given to her. Charlotte said she looked at Lynch as an equal, but she's definitely the one who knows about living in a shadow, and all because she refers to living in the shadow of Ric Flair, obviously, and all Lynch had to do was ask for shots. Lynch didn't see it that way, saying she always had to prop up the Queen and Hell in a Cell. The title will come home to her no matter how many times she has to drop Charlotte where she stands. Charlotte says Lynch was never second best in life, but in the ring she is. So it was good back and forth. Like, you have to watch it, like, when you get the chance.
I will.
Naomi now beats Peyton Royce, got back at her, and looks like Asuka now will be joining forces with her. We talked about Tamina at 140.
Told you.
And Asuka all the same with that. Going back to Joe and AJ. Now you have an issue with this as well, like because in this case where Joe once again was given all the shtick about AJ will finally be here because I'm putting him away. AJ arrived in the arena but was stopped by and eventually got his hand in, attacked him and tried to do his thing, but the referees and Paige separated them.
Yeah.
Now you have an issue with this.
Yeah, why? I know it's storyline wise to keep them apart and stuff like that to build hype for the match, and it's working. But why is AJ the one getting told off by Paige and being held off? But when Joe attacks, nothing visually for us on the TV is being done by Paige.
I'll tell you why. Because every time Joe attacks, it's from behind. They don't see it coming. At least with AJ in this case, he did it man to man and did a face up, giving them the opportunity to eventually come out and go away. And he always goes off quickly, just like that, before they do get separated.
But so I will just say,
do you know what I mean by that?
What about the attack when you did the interview on SmackDown after SummerSlam?
Again, from behind.
But it was on the stage.
But the fact is, he was in and out quick like that, and then
he did a promo after it.
The point is that exactly. But the point is, he was in and out. He did the promo just before they came out, so he did the job. He didn't need to do too much compared to AJ. He wanted to almost kill him for as long as he possibly could, and then the referees had to separate him. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
It makes sense by that logic, if that makes sense.
It's just
if AJ came from behind,
looking like one rule for one and one rule for another.
That's the face and the heel. Makes sense in that sense.
Yeah, it should be the same rules. They're both employees, Dave. They're both employees.
One's more effective. One's more effective at doing it than the other one.
And shouldn't the champ get a little more leeway, if anyone?
Hence why he's pushed back.
No, if you're getting leeway, then you would have been allowed to actually, get in there and batter him.
Well, by kayfabe rule, they're trying to protect the match.
Oh yes, the rule of kayfabe. I forgot.
Rusev and English beat the Usos and Sanity, so they'll be facing the Bar next week to decide New Day's challengers. That's a good match.
That will be a good match. Tag team, like we say all the time, the tag team division in SmackDown is hot.
Are you a bit surprised? I don't know about you, but I'm a bit surprised neither Usos or Santi are involved up there yet. But at the same time, I'm not too disappointed because I'm okay with Rusev in English going against the Bar.
Just gives like Rusev is still crazy.
The match, but let's forget this. The tournament has been quality.
Yep.
Proper quality. It's the best tag team division in all of wrestling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right now. So, who else has better tag team? Let's be honest.
Who else is a better tag team?
Better tag team division. Better than the SmackDown division. Raw doesn't have a Raw.
No.
NXT.
No.
Ring of Honor.
No.
New Japan.
The heavyweight division's quite good.
Well, there's not enough there compared to the depths that SmackDown have to New Japan.
Well, what we're looking at: Young Bucks,
Young
Chaos.
Chaos. We'll define chaos because there could be so many chaoses. Okay, you have Guerrillas of Destiny as well. You have the Killer Elite Squads. You had Evil and Sonata. Beyond that, though. See again, a lot
Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. have been a tag team.
The point is, these are teams that have to be put together as opposed to teams that are natural teams here.
Okay, fine.
Does that make sense?
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Okay.
And then the main event, obviously, then was R-Truth against the Miz, which it was really confusing to hype up towards it. But in the end, what ended up happening in the end is where Brian and Brie distracted Miz to get rolled up by Truth in the end, and then it caused the whole situation with them afterwards. So again, adds to it for me. So now, just to go, I presume you haven't seen 205 and
I haven't seen.
like that,
No, I haven't had the chance this week. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll give you.
I'm sorry, Dave.
It's okay.
So professional.
You're a working man. You're just to give you a rundown of everything. In 205, like the main thing to talk about with 205 is they had a really good match actually between Cedric Alexander and T.J. Perkins, where T.J. Perkins felt like, oh, okay, you know, he's impatient. He no longer wants to wait because he was calling out Drew Gulak originally. It just adds really another degree to the whole Gulak match that'll be happening soon. Like so. And also, it was announced that Buddy Murphy now he'll be challenging Cedric Alexander in Australia for the Super Showdown. So it's a really good main event. Alexander overcoming and again it keeps the program alive for Gulak afterwards. So again, just works for me. So overall, it's a really good show. Oh, they had a bit of a surfer feud now between Leo Rush and Noam Dar.
Oh, okay.
Because Leo Rush had a match and against Jobber, and Leo Rush was in commentary, just impressed by the whole thing. So it's very similar to the Akira Tozawa rivalry with Leo Rush, so something new. So all for that. NXT, Cassius Ohno has a bit of a different attitude now. He's not really a heel, but he had a match against Keanu Reeves. He pretty much squashed him. Don't know what that push was all about, but there you go.
Shit.
But Ono said after the match that he came back. When he came back, there was so much buzz until it wasn't, and he became an afterthought. He figured it out. There's always been someone new and someone fresh, and he'll be right there to welcome them and knock them into the back of the line. So he feels like a gatekeeper, as such.
Yeah.
In NXT, and he's happy to be that, like, because he feels like, okay, you want me to be a gatekeeper? I'll give you a gatekeeper. So I'm all for that. Would that be a heel turn down the line? I don't know. I have to wait and see. The Forgotten Sons, a new tag team, took on the Street Profits. So this is the team. I'm not too sure. Like it was. I'm lost with names when it comes to them, if I'm honest with you. Like, but it had who was Buddy Murphy's ex tag team partner before?
Wesley Blake,
Wesley Blake, and oh my god, I'm horrible.
Steve Cutler.
Thank you. Those are the two guys. I don't know the other guy involved.
They've been doing tag teams together from, I think it's Braxton Shutter or something.
That's his
like
name.
That.
You know more about it than me.
Yeah.
The Mighty interfered in this match anyway to give the unfortunate ones the win in this one anyway. They had having more of the investigation with the Aleister Black thing. They're almost like doing it like a proper. I'm actually enjoying
something
the
about
investigation.
Nikki Cross is involved, isn't it?
She did a very bizarre interview where she claims she saw who did it. Or she claims but she says, oh, it's a secret. You know, Nikki Cross is like that.
Yeah, I suppose she was sitting at the balcony or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But what I'm enjoying about it is that it's a proper mystery. It feels like Stone Cold 2 ran over it.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
I like it. I like the mystery of not knowing who did it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
like you can think, oh, I think it was Gargano, but it could have been Ciampa, but then it could have been this one. Oh, but it could have been like you just don't know, and I love that.
Yeah, but like Donald Trump's like Donald Trump's whistleblower probably ends up being Rikishi. I don't know.
You know what? I hope it's Rikishi.
Heavy Machinery and Lars Sullivan were interviewed about this week anyway, so One thing I have to mention about Kerry Sane, she revealed her women's championship in a treasure chest. Oh, I just loved that.
Did you see the video? I don't know if it made it to NXT or not.
What?
But she was throwing coins out.
Oh no.
Did it actually make TV?
Her treasure chest had coins, but then she won the match against a lady called Trisha Dora, I think her name was, and then Shayna Baszler just threw the treasure chest all over the ramp with all the gold in it. So I'm not sure it was actually on the NXT show, but I didn't see anything like that.
Did you not see the video on the NXT? Some person was taking it from the crowd, and she was throwing coins into the crowd.
Yeah.
But she had the belt on her arm.
Oh really?
And she threw the belt instead.
I missed that completely.
Some fan caught it before it hit the ground.
Oh no. Velveteen Dream took on Johnny Gargano, but this is a really interesting story because it's a continuation on the Gargano story. Here's Velveteen Dream, who is already, I think, is excellent at playing mind games. Like, he's that type of character.
Yeah.
But here's what happened in this match that made it interesting. Gargano snapped at one stage where he had a suicide dive and made Johnny Gargano tap to his Gargano special on the floor. And he was about to do a draping DDT on the floor until what happened? He saw a Johnny wrestling fan in the crowds, top better. He went back in and then got caught in the rolling Death Valley Driver just like that for Dream to win.
Oh, okay.
So he snapped Cam down, but it cost him. Afterwards, and it's interesting because there's half Johnny wrestling fans, half Johnny wrestling chants. So it seems like there's a fine balance. Half of them have the normal face with the eye, half of them have the venom face.
Yeah.
So it's very divided. I love that. I think it's a very effective way they're going. Now, before we finish up, we have to talk about the start of the Million Classic. So you had Tegan Fox taking on Satara. That was a very good match, actually. So
really, really emotional.
It was, but no, it wasn't where she hurt herself. But what's interesting,
I remember you were Snapchatting me mid-match, and you thought this was the match that she hurt herself in.
No, it wasn't. No, I looked at before, and it wasn't the case. But what's interesting about it is the commentary questions her knee movements in advance. Yeah, which I think.
They played off the knee in the match as well. Yeah. They were targeting the knee. I love.
Yeah, but the point is, I think they did that deliberately after what happened beforehand with everything.
Why was it? Does it sound like it was re-recorded?
No, that's the thing.
I think it could have been. She targeted the match. She targeted the knee throughout the match, so that's why they were talking about it.
Maybe. Maybe it's a strange coincidence.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence. That's all it was.
Rhea Ripley, who's one of the favourites for the tournament, she looks really strong against J.M.
You know who's
Jenkins.
in the final, don't you?
I don't, and don't tell me.
Do you know? Oh, okay.
I know that. Actually, I won't say that either. But she won this match after a pump handle powerbomb. Like MJ Jenkins is a very good wrestler, though. Like, so check her out in the future. Lacey Lane took on Vanessa Craven. She's huge, actually. She's like Nia Jax size.
Massive, isn't it? Yeah.
But she came out on top in the end after a crucifix bomb.
The Lacey Lane is really interesting.
She is really good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She's very similar to what's her face?
Not Ember Moon.
I was going to say Ember Moon. That's yeah.
I can see where you get it.
There's similarities.
Yeah. I can definitely see where you see it.
But you have to watch this match when you get the chance between Mirko Satomura and Killer Kelly, because it's a brilliant match. Excellent hard and style. But Satomura, I hope does well in this tournament. But Kelly looked very competitive in this match as well. She held her own. Like it's one of the best matches this week for sure, though. So it's the start of a very strong tournament, and there's so much good matches to look forward to. Even with the possibility of who could face who, now knowing that certain people go through. For example, Satomura could face Mercedes Martinez in the next rounds, who I believe are the two most experienced wrestlers in the tournaments. So that match alone, if that happens, wow. So there's so much to look forward to there. So, but that's all our stuff from WWE, and then let's finish off our show now with our yes nos.
Yes, no! Yes, no! Yes, no!
There isn't too many to bring up this week, so let's get to them now. Carmella to turn face.
No.
Especially with the idea of her going together with R-Truth, going into the Mixed Match Challenge. I personally would like to see it.
No.
No?
No, I don't think it will happen. You can be like a funny heel on... We saw it last year, like, you can be different things on these shows.
Right.
You don't have to stick to your character on the Mixed Match Challenge. You can be something totally different.
Okay.
So I think they might be the like comedic angle for it this year. I
don't see why that has... But why would that make sense if it's a heel?
What do you mean?
Well, R-Truth, if she's teaming up with him and she's a heel, isn't that strange?
Yeah, but they just want it for the comedic element.
I suppose, but if they want it for a comedic element, they probably bring back James Ellsworth, which isn't happening anytime soon, I bet.
No.
Nia Jax to return soon.
Where is she?
I actually don't know. I think she's injured.
Is she?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I don't know the exact facts, but all I know is she could be returning very soon. So I'm all for that whenever she's back. Like,
She hasn't been around for a while. Like
since the Rousey thing, I think so.
Since Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Yeah, since then. So we'll see what happens. Now, Batista to return.
No.
Severe rumors going around that he's leaving the Marvel franchise for WWE. Why would
he's
you
not
want to do
leaving
that?
You don't know the story behind that, do you?
No, I don't.
You gotta pay more attention to the news, man.
I see it by headlines, supposed to be story on occasion, or at least for the rumors anyway.
The director of the first two Guardians of the Galaxy films, James Gunn, was recently not spotted. His Twitter was exposed, or a guy brought up his old tweets where he made light of child abuse and pedophilia. Like, he made jokes and stuff like that. You know.
Wait, was this on DMs or actual?
No, it was on actual tweets from like 7-8 years ago or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that, you know?
All right.
At the time, he was an edgy actor and director and stuff like that, and his tweets were the same. Like, he never condoned the stuff. He always maintained from the start that these were jokes, that he never actually did these things, or he never wanted to do these things. But Disney fired him for it.
Okay.
And there was a backlash online from Disney, from fans, because this fan went through 8 years worth of tweets to try and get a guy fired. I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you have that much time on your hands. But then the cast wanted the director back as well.
Okay.
Because they were about to start shooting the third film.
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. And when Disney said no, the actors have refused to take part in the film.
I see.
Batista was one of the most vocal in his support for James Gunn. And
so Bradley Cooper and all them saying no.
Same thing. Yeah. Disney did threaten, saying, if you don't show up, we'll replace you. Batista was like, fine, do it. I don't care. Your film will be the worst for it, and he knew that himself as well. Disney, it were one of the rare times Disney owned Marvel, one of the rare occasions that the big corporate company didn't actually have the upper hand in this.
Yeah,
Batista did, because he knew that people wouldn't watch this film if he wasn't in it.
Pretty much. And everyone else, and the cast, they're in it as well.
And the rest of the cast,
especially on the back of the Avengers as well.
So then, the reason why the rumors of Batista coming back is because Disney have now told the actors to look for other work, because it's permanently now on hold. Yeah,
well, I think Batista's already in a new movie coming up with Pierce Brosnan that's on Sky or something like that. So
he's in some. I don't think it's Pierce Brosnan. Is it like Ray Winston? Is it?
No, it's him and Pierce Brosnan in some.
Yeah, he plays like some football hooligan or something like that.
No, they're trying to undetonate a bomb in a football stadium or something like that.
Oh, are they?
That's what I heard about it anyway. So
okay,
there you go. Anyway, Shawn Michaels to have one more match. There's part of me that doesn't want to.
I think he doesn't want to. I think you've asked this question twice of me before.
At least once, anyway. But that was on the back of when we thought, was there any need for him to come back? Now,
I've always said no. I've always said no in terms of like I'm happy with what he did before, and I don't think we need to see it again and stuff like that. Yeah. But look, I'm not going to begrudge if he has another match.
If it's against The Undertaker, then I've no issue.
Like, we'll see.
We'll see.
Finally,
All In 2 to happen.
Yes.
It kind of has to. I mean, I'd love it to happen again. This could really be something special if it keeps continuing. The guys who are behind it, they said it themselves. If you haven't watched Speed and Delete, the last episode, watch it. Especially the speech that Cody, the Young Bucks, and Kenny make after. There's something special there.
Yeah.
Keep at it. Like, and they're always going to be together with it. Like, so I can't see why not. So I'm all for it. So. So has to be that. On that note, that's all the time we have for this week on The Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guides, right here on 90.3 Near FM, the EMC Podcast Network, and all good podcasting providers. Make sure to check us out at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out all our podcast content on iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify. Check out my Twitter at Dave Bandana and Dar's at
Mars Bar.
And that's us for the week. Now make sure to check us out over the next over the week, because we're going to have a special review of Phoenix Wrestling Oops We Did It Again that we weren't able to attend, but we just got the wench to watch the VOD this week, so make sure to listen for that. And make sure to check in over the next couple of weeks, because we'll be doing a special preview for NLW First Impacts, where I'll be talking to Jamie Coleman about that. So it should be interesting to see his perspective of everything coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, I really can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, so make sure to check out that. But until then, I've been Dave Cullen. He's been Daragh Maher. This has been a Kick Out, your weekly pro wrestling guide. Thank you so much for listening. Stay sound.